Everyone, this is Jay Watson. I'm going to create a very simple PHP login system. I'm working off a Mac. Many of you will be working probably from a PC and using XAMPP or WAMP. If you're using XAMPP, your root folder will be htdocs, and if you're using WAMP, your root folder will be the www folder. Hopefully you already know how to use all of that. This is my root folder under sites, and I've already created a folder within that root folder, Watson simple login, and I've created two files already. You can see them there, index.php and secret.php, which will be our membership page that only members have access to. So we'll go ahead and start off here, index.php. Let's first create a simple HTML document. What am I doing here? Now the title. Alright, won't do any styling. Now our body tags, and let's create a simple form. And our form, actually we'll create a header. Simple PHP only login system. And now let's create a form. Form tags, just a simple HTML form. Input type, and we're going to set the type to text, of course, because this will have the username. And then we'll give it a name value so that we can work with it with PHP username. We will give it a placeholder value of username. This is the grayed out text that you will see. Let's put a break code here. A break tag. Input type equal, and we'll make the type password. That way you'll have the little bullet points or asterisks. Name equal password, and of course the placeholder equals password. Cap that first letter, please. Please do that. And one more tag break. One more, and of course you're ahead of me. I'm sure you are. Submit this form. The name of submit. Give it a value of login. Login. Close out my form. And let's go ahead and save this. Tab this out. And yeah, I think we're good to go. Let's go ahead and open up our browser. Open up a new tag. I'm a school teacher. Localhost, and of course, since I'm on a Mac, I need to go ~teacher and Watson's simple underscore. Yeah, you're like, you should have done this already. Is that it? Not found. What did I name this? Watson simple login. There's a reason that it did not work. Watson simple login. Simple PHP only login system. Watson simple login. You have the form. Of course, we click that. Nothing's going to happen, right? So let's minimize this. Get back to the code. What we're going to do first is we're going to go to the form and we're going to give it an action. I'm going to say action equal index.php. And you're right, that's the page we're on, and you're right, we're going to put a little PHP before our HTML document, and we're going to call that code. That will be what processes our form. So we'll be calling that, and we need to give it a method, and our method will be post. And there we go. And so PHP has these two super globals. You may have read about this before. You may work with them, get and post. They both can be used to access like all of your form information. We want to use post though. Get uses the URL parameters, whereas post uses the HTTP post method. Users can't see that, and users can see get, and obviously that doesn't work for a login system. So we would always use post with forms. Now let's do a little PHP now, and PHP tags. Alright, and the first thing I want to do is I am going to actually create variables for my users. Of course, I need a username and a password. Before that, before I actually even do that, though, I'm going to say if, and I'm going to use my post super global, like I just talked to access the form element, and I'm going to specifically access this submit button and say, essentially, if it's submitted, do all this stuff. That's pretty much how it works. So if, I'm sorry, $, right? Post, and I'm all messed up here. If post, now square brackets, inside there, submit, and of course it's accessing all of our form, and we're going to put in submit because we're specifically talking about this input field here. Okay, so if post submit, and then we're going to start setting some variables. First thing is we're going to set a member username and set it equal to Fred. Why Fred? I don't know. And we're going to set a member password and set it equal to password. Great security. And now we're actually going to create variables to work with whatever the user enters. And of course, how do I get access to what the user enters? Well, with the post method. So let's go ahead and create a variable called username equals, and then we'll set it equal to that post value, whatever the user types in, and we access that with this name value that we gave it. Sorry if I'm moving too slow for you. If I am, then maybe you need another tutorial. This is too easy for you. Now I'm going to create an if statement. Okay, so we have, this is the username and the password that is required. The user must enter this username and this password in order to get into my secret website. Okay, and my membership website. These variables. Of course, I've created a username variable, and I've accessed this right here. Gives me access to whatever the user entered as a username. This line of code gives me access to whatever the user entered as a password. Okay, and so now we need to create a little if statement or if else statement, and I'm going to say if, and you know this, you got this figured out. You're going to say if username, and that's what the user entered, is equal to member username, and then we'll say and password is equal to member password. Okay, now we're going to say, we're going to use this opportunity to set a session variable. Okay, and sessions, we establish, we're essentially, well, there's not a better way to say it than establishing a session. And so we'll pass that session variable, we'll keep it, and as long as that session variable is set, the user will be able to access, certain pages on our website. Later on, we'll create something that will destroy that session variable, and then you can come back. That's how we'll create a logout system essentially. So we're going to set a session variable, and we're going to say session, and we'll use the username. Username, that's the name of our session. We're going to equal username. So this is a variable. We're going to be able to pass this to the next page. Okay, and then we're going to forward the user with the header function. Location, type it just like I've typed it. Secret.php, and you can see where I've created that. Alright, remember to close that. Now let's create our else statement. Else we're going to echo incorrect username or PW for password. Please try again unless you are a hacker. Then go home, please. We won't say please because they're a hacker, so they're not a nice person. Okay, so before we move on, I'm looking at this. Make sure you have your code exactly like I have it. Before we move on, let's go over to secret.php. Make sure you save this. Let's go over to secret.php and do a few things there. Okay, and with secret.php, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our PHP tags here. Alright, and we're going to use a little built-in function. For now, just use it. Let's not talk about session start. Very first line of code before we do anything. And so we're going to use, you heard me reference the isSet function. I think earlier it's a built-in function PHP that will check to see if a variable is set. We've set this variable here, okay, over here on index.php. So we're going to check now if it is set. So if the session user name variable is set, and I meant to type is set before that. Get this right. Yeah, and that one. Oh wait. Yeah, I messed up there. Okay, there's that. There's that. Okay, if the session username variable, so this is set function. The session variable is going inside that, so we're checking to see if it's set. If it's set, then we will go ahead and create a variable. We'll go ahead and create a variable to work with that, a local variable username equal whatever was passed. And remember how we made the session equal to our username variable? Of course, it will have to be Fred, otherwise the person can't get in. Okay, so we made we're essentially passing Fred over to secret.php. If I typed everything in. Well, not yet. We'll create a local variable to work with this session variable. That way we won't have to type in session username every time. So you can just copy this out actually. Control C, Command C. Okay, our username is now equal to session username. Remember semicolon, and we're good to go. Good to go. Otherwise, else, we will forward them back using the header function. Forward them back to index.php. We could tell them they typed the wrong password, but we'll do that. And then just in case the individual or the whoever's trying to log in is a machine, it's a bot or something, we should use this die function. Die. And that way nothing happens here. Let's go ahead and create a little HTML. I think my fiance is laughing at me. Let's create a little HTML here. And I'm just going to put my body tags Not even going to do a title or a header. And let's give us h1 tags. Alright. And then let's create a little echo statement. And we'll just use h3 tags to make it h3, and we'll say welcome. No, we'll just echo welcome. Yeah, that's fine. Struggling here. It's a struggle. PHP echo user. Wow. Of course, it's variable. Okay. And okay, welcome. Yeah, all of that's closed out, right? Let's save this and we'll see. And I just have the trial copy of Sublime Text. Let's save this. Go back to our web page. Refresh. Notice undefined index. Submit. Okay, that's just a notice. That's nothing to worry about. Let's go back and take care of this though. Okay, so at the very top of index.php, let's use PHP's error reporting function, and let's go error. Why am I doing the little angle bracket? Error reporting, and let's do. We want all errors except we don't want, and let's go to edit special characters. Well, edit special characters. Go up. We do not want notices. Save this and go back to Google Chrome. There we go. Got rid of that. Okay, let's type in the wrong password first. Fred, blah blah blah. That's the wrong password. Oh, okay, so that works. Okay, incorrect username or password. Please try again. Unless you're a hiker, then go home. Fred, let's put in the right password. And wait just a second. Did this not work? It is not working. We have a problem, Houston. We have a problem. Okay, I'm back. I realized that I forgot to do something, and what I forgot to do, what you really need to do, is go back to your index.php and put session start function at the very top. Save that. Now let's go back to Google Chrome, and of course we enter wrong username and password, incorrect username and password. Let's enter the right one, Fred, and then password. Welcome, Fred, and we're set to go. But here's the problem. I'm going to copy this URL here. Let's go to Google. Let's come back to secret, and we're still logged in. This session is still established. So what we need to do is create a new page, and let's name it logout.html. Yeah, let's go to logout.html or .html. You can see I'm looking at something here. Yeah, logout.php. Save this as in your folder, and let's do our PHP here, and we'll just do two simple lines: session start and session destroy. And that's all we need to do. And then let's do a simple HTML. Trying to get ahead of myself. Just body tags because I'm in a hurry. This is already taking longer than I want. And we will say you are logged out. please visit ahref equal index.php. Click here to log back in and save that. Go back to Chrome, and if we go to logout.php, you're logged out, click here to go back in. Now here's the thing, you saw how we went to another website and we were able to come back to our secret page. If we go back to secret.php, no work. And of course we had the undefined variable on that page. To fix this, let's go back to logout.ph or secret.php. Oh, I was doing. And then let's add this bit of code here at the very top. Error reporting, no notices. Okay. Yeah. Refresh. Bam. Okay. So if you try to visit secret.php, it'll forward you onto the home page, and then it will use the PHP die function to ensure that no web bots are there. Now the last thing I want to do is let's go to our secret.php page, and underneath this let's create a quick form, and all I want it to do is call form action equal logout.php. That's all it's doing, and then we're going to say input type submit value equal log out, dude. Alright, and we're set to jet. So now if we go to simple PHP homepage here, and we will type in Fred password welcome Fred, and we can click on the log out dude button, and we're logged out. And you can't go back to secret.php now because you're not logged in. Nope, it won't let you. Okay. One other thing. If usernames, we're not used to those being case sensitive. Okay. So what we want to do is we'll type in Fred password, and it's incorrect. That's because PHP is case sensitive. So our username is case sensitive, but we would like for them to be able to type in anything they want. Even this, that should work, right? So let's go back to Sublime Text, back to index.php, and under where we're right here on this variable, their username, when we're gathering it, let's go ahead and put a PHP function around that. No, let's not even do that. Let's just change the value of this variable. Username is equal to str to lower, and within the parameters we need to put username. Okay, and so now we're going to save that. This should work. Type in the password, and it works. It's not case sensitive. So again, we haven't logged out, so we could go to, we'll copy this, we could go to yahoo.com, come back to secret, and we're still logged in. Once we log out, it won't work that way. Again, this is very easy, very simple system. If you have any questions, let me know. I only created 3 pages. We created a logout.php page. We have our secret page, and any page that you would want to make secret, you would just need to apply this bit of code, and then you could customize it. I wouldn't even had to create this variable to work with that username, but it might be handy on every page to say, hello Fred, or Fred's home page, Fred's whatever you wanted to do. So the main thing is that you're checking, you're establishing a session on this page. You're checking to see if this session variable is set. once it is, you're allowed to be on this page. Otherwise, you're going to just redirect them back to the login page and use that PHP die function to make sure web bots aren't trying to hack your page. Our home page, very simple. You can apply this form wherever you want, wherever it looks most attractive, but hopefully you can take this and do some cool things with it.